Good evening. Sunday evening. Normally on Sundays I talk a lot about the Sunday affairs and how a lot of people have had maybe a bad weekend, relapsed, all that sort of thing, getting back to work, it's a bit of a nightmare. But just a general chat tonight, but I want to focus on a couple of things. One of which has been asked for by the ladies, and that's how does alcohol affect women differently? There's quite a lot of information about it. I've got some personal experience of that as well. But when I was taken in the hospital, when there's a few more on, I'll tell you about that. But alcohol affects us all. It even affects the people who don't drink in the family. And that's what people don't realise as well. You know, the fact there's a lot of people within the family who suffer. We don't think about that because we're so much in active addiction that we become selfish. We don't mean to be selfish, but that's just the way it is. We become very selfish, and that's it. Because we want to drink. We need to drink in the end. Your body craves it, needs it, because otherwise you may have a seizure. You might feel really ill, and you go into, not hangover, you go into withdrawal. A lot of people, the general public really gets fooled. I use that term loosely, but people who haven't got alcohol problems don't go in withdrawal, they just have hangovers. Hi Charlie, nice to see you. How are you? Seen you for a little while. Hope you're well and taking over well. Had a couple of really lively lives actually last few nights, which has been good. And you got a few new people on, a few more debates, a few of the usual crew. We've been sort of touching on a lot of subjects really. Dean, 5 weeks sober. Well done, mate. Shout out for Dean there. 5 weeks sober. As I said before, in 2019, before I was in hospital, I couldn't do 5 minutes sober. So 5 weeks is amazing. Build on every day. That's the thing. You know, it's one step at a time, it's not one day at a time. Build on that. Improve on your health. That's the main thing. The mission here is to get people healthy, isn't it? And the main issue here is alcohol, which is preventing people getting healthy, isn't it? It kills too many people as well, as we all know. It's horrendous substance, and too many young people die of it. Of the issues. It's not just liver disease, pancreatitis, and heart attacks, strokes, all that sort of thing. And you know, nobody seems to be getting under grip on it in the NHS, and they're outrun. I think overrun with it. I went to see the consultant. I see them twice a year. I've always seen the same consultant. This time I saw what they call a specialist liver nurse. I said, "Where's the consultant?" So she's so overrun that they're putting nurses in to do the once a year check, one of the twice a year checks, if that makes sense. So you see the consultant in December, for example, then you'd see the nurse in the June and so on. So they're overrun. Hospitals are actually overrun with alcohol-related problems created by booze, and it's getting worse. And I was going to talk a little bit about how it affects women more seriously than imagined, because we assume, men assume women are more healthy. They tend to live longer in general, but not amongst the alcoholic or alcohol community that don't. There's a few reasons for that, which I'll go into in detail in a minute. But you think having the odd glass of wine as a woman, it's harming your system far more than you'll ever imagine, because of body composition, hormonal changes, and enzymes, metabolism, all this sort of thing. So I'm a bit technical, but I've got a little bit of a checklist here. I'm not a doctor, but I know a lot about alcohol, a little bit about female alcohol. Stoic, how are you doing? Good evening, Steve. I know a wonderful community. Getting Dean Birch, well done, pal. Keep going. Fantastic. Yeah, 5 weeks is amazing, isn't it? Really amazing. It's build it every day. Every day is a good day. Every day is a bonus, isn't it? And you feel stronger every day. Your body will fight for you. I mean, I was in a wheelchair just 4 years ago. I couldn't walk. I've been for a run today, albeit a short run. So it just shows that your body will fight for you if you give it a chance. And, you get stronger as long as you keep up the booze. And then build on top of that your nutrition, your fitness, your rest. Try and de-stress a little bit. Try not to worry too much. And move on from there. That's the way to keep going. But certainly there's differences between how alcohol affects men and women. I'll wait until we get a few more women in before we discuss it. But obviously, we talk about the Sunday affairs as well. People hate the Sunday afternoon, don't they? I saw a few people out and about today, and I went for quite a long walk. A few people outside the pubs, was a big football match on. They're all waiting there sort of 12, 1 o'clock, and for the match to start and this, that, and the other. And you can tell there were such good moves, nice day, and having a few drinks. But by about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and now, I think, God, I wish I hadn't gone out because of work tomorrow, isn't it? Got to go on the underground, got to get on the coach, got to get on a taxi, get on an airplane, whatever you've got to do. And you've got a heavy weekend on the drink. You just feel like death warmed up, don't you? I did. Horrendous hangovers, withdrawals, and that sort of thing. I did. Thanks for feeling much better now. Good, you will. It's amazing, just in 5 weeks. It's a different quality of life, isn't it? A different type of lifestyle, really, when you're sober. It bears no resemblance to the previous life you had when you were drinking. Even moderate drinking causes problems. You get headaches, a bit irritable, bowel problems, you don't eat well, you don't sleep well, affects your mental health, and so it goes on, doesn't it? I see what's from Dublin. They say, yeah, hope you're well. How was Dublin these days? I've only ever been once. Last May, myself and my partner went for a wedding. It's very expensive, I thought, what it was, but nice place. So I had a fantastic week off work with my wife. Got a lot of chores done around the house. 2 nights at the cinema. That's good news. So ages since we've been to the cinema. I've never been with my partner actually at the cinema. Oh, have you? We have a couple of times. And I spent all the time getting food from the bar in the cinema. It's great at the cinema, isn't it? Yeah. Stadium and Museum tour of Old Trafford, restaurant with the in-laws last night. Well done. So you see, years ago, as you know, we spend all our time drinking and trying to recover. So you've had a good weekend off. Yep, your videos caught my eye and joined tonight. My name is Audrey. Next, see Audrey. Okay, first female one. Tonight I'm going to talk about the difference between the effects of it, alcohol on male and female. Hey Paul, how are you doing? You stay 4 weeks sober today. Feel really good. That's really good. Paul's got himself sober. And Dean sober. That's good. A few of us have got sober. If you're struggling, doesn't matter. Still keep watching. Put your comment in if you want. We're here to help you, support you, and guide you through. Because it's a difficult journey, but it can be done. It can be done, and that's very important. Keep pushing that message. Welcome to our terrific family, Audrey. Yep, well done, story. Yeah, women. Then let's start here. Body composition is the first thing. Men generally have more water in their bodies and higher muscle mass. So alcohol is water soluble. It's more diluted. So it's more diluted in men's bodies. More diluted. Yeah. With regard to women, they tend to have a high percentage of body fat and lower water content. Don't hate me for that, ladies, but that's just the way it is. They have more body fat, and there's more problems for them to metabolize the alcohol. So women have a lower ADH activity, means more metabolized alcohol enters the bloodstream. So basically getting more alcohol in quick. So like smashing it, Paul, good fight, fantastic story. After you've had a great weekend, Peninsular Lodger and Blow Mermaid arrived on Friday. That's ideal. That's all you need, isn't it, these days? Amazon's fantastic, isn't it? Coggers, well done, Paul. Hot Penny. So anyway, again, to the women, I'm just thinking about that mermaid blowing away in the wind. So women can't metabolize alcohol as well as men. Now, when I first went to the hospital, 2019, I was in a mess. So Dean and Paul, keep it up, fellas. Sleep will improve skin health, appearance, wealth, and will all improve. Yeah, everything will improve, won't it? With sobriety. So I first went into this hospital. I had this huge distended stomach it was caused by ascites fluid. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew I was very ill. When your liver shrinks, which it does with cirrhosis, the fluid doesn't pass through it. Basically, it goes into your peritoneum. A massive stomach. They took me into this ward. So I'm going to the liver ward, and I looked to my right, and I saw what I said. The porter, why are you taking me? And just laughed. Why are you taking me towards the pregnancy ward? Because you women all had big stomachs, and some of them weren't fat. as it were. And he said, this is a liverwort. That's just the female side. And all these women had cited major liver problems because that's enough of that. So, Dean, yeah, I've been sleeping much better appetite, and been going to the gym now. See, it all improves. So, what happens with women? The liver doesn't metabolize stuff, and estrogen can influence alcohol metabolism. Some women may feel stronger effects during certain phases of their menstrual cycle. So, with women, there's a lot of difference in how they metabolize the alcohol. So, women also get more quickly impaired brain function, right? And I'm actually very technical, but somebody wanted this information, so I'm going to get out here. Women may also be more susceptible to alcohol-related mood changes. Well, women have mood changes anyway, don't they? We all know that. Cancer risk: women have a higher risk of breast cancer from alcohol. Women are more vulnerable to alcohol-induced brain shrinkage, even with less consumption. Women may develop heart problems quicker than men. A lot of women don't realize this having the odd glass of wine is really bad. Women often experience worse hangovers and dehydration. And women may progress more quickly from initial use to alcohol dependence. A lot of women will start drinking later in life, but they will get addicted quicker, if that makes sense. So even if men and women drink the same amount, women generally feel the effects more strongly and are at a higher risk for alcohol-related damage. So when we get a few more women in, we'll go over that again. It's a very interesting subject, how it affects men and women differently. You will. Everything will improve with sobriety, won't it? It will always improve every part of your life. Harry Hine, hello, beautiful man. Thank you, Harry Hine, whoever you are in the world. Thanks to everybody who's come on this week, who's new as well. Got a lot of new people. Been really lively chat, and everyone who supported the channel. If you want to support us, please hit the super chat button or the Buy Me Coffee link over there. The more support we get, the more we can do. The more people we can help. That's what we're here for. Jake. I'm Jake, first time watching. I'm struggling with the drink day after day. Just can't stay away. Can't find the help anywhere. Okay, well, Jake, I don't know where you're based, but if you drop me a line on this number. If you're outside the UK, it's +44. No, we'll take it from there. Hi, Trinker. How's Stephen, everybody? I had a calm, slow weekend. How are you doing, Trinker? I'm just going through a few points here about how women are more affected by alcohol. I'm going to go through them again. I will. Penny, welcome, Jake. So basically, women are affected much more acutely than men with alcohol. And I didn't know that until recently. It was only my own experience going to the liver ward and I saw all these women with this fluid on their stomach because they can't metabolize it. Women, like I said, often start drinking later in life, but they get addicted quicker. So it's very, very dangerous. Another fact, according to the NHS anyway, or the British Liver Trust, is that women's death rate from liver disease has gone up 35% in 5 years, which is horrendous, isn't it? There's more women affected than we realise, fellas. So we should keep an eye on that, especially if you've got partners in this. Even if you haven't, just be aware, because you all got sisters, mothers, and this sort of thing. Last July, I got out of a bad relationship. Went straight to the doctor. I was in bits. Over the course of 2 years, my T cell count went right down. Stress and drink. Yeah, one of the biggest contributors to longevity is to get rid of chronic stress. That's a massive, massive killer, chronic stress. But it leads to all sorts of other ailments and diseases and all sorts, isn't it? You've got to focus on this. It's a hard battle to keep sober. It really is. Especially, people will always make an excuse. I've got my birthday coming next week. I'm going to the races next week. It's football and whatever. You either do it or you don't do it. It's as simple as that. Are you going to do it or are you not? Because I can't make you, Story can't make you, Samara can't make you, Trinker can't make you. None of the people in here can make you stop drinking. Only yourself. Simple as that. Brian, some of the most moving shares in the AA came from the women members. It's interesting, Brian. Thanks for that. Yeah, I didn't realise it was such a difference. I mean, it affects both sexes, obviously. But it's interesting that women start later in life, but they progress more quickly from initial use to dependency. It's called telescoping, would you believe? It's interesting we said that, Brian, yeah. Hot penny drunk women ringing my phone right now, decline. There you go. More emotional, isn't it? It's funny enough, I'll do this one-to-one mentoring where I help people. Recently, I got a lot more female clients. Jake, too easy to have a drink. Of course it is. Far too easy, isn't it? It's everywhere, isn't it? And I think this recession doesn't help, and the fact that we're at war. I know we're at war, but that's escalating, and things are getting worse. Raymond's just said my girlfriend died at age 44 of liver disease. Through binge drinking. This poison I miss her like crazy. It hurts so bad. Thanks a lot, Ray. Some very, very sad stories here. And it's something I wasn't aware of, that women will be so affected by it. Because we all look around the pub, don't we, and think, oh, it's 90% men and 10% women, especially when you're single. So much I'm not, but when you are. And you don't realise the harm it does to you until you actually do some research. Frankenstein. I'll use Frankenstein as well. I'll call you Frankenstein. I am dead when I drink. I think we all are. We just go downhill, don't we? Hello, Mark. Good evening to you. How are you getting on? Hope you're well. Couple of subjects. So we've got Sunday affairs. I don't know many people have experienced that, but I used to detest the day before I had to go back to work. I used to get so bloody anxious and worry all the time about the next day, what's going to happen, will I get bollocks, all nonsense. I was worrying about something that wasn't going to happen really, because the anxiety level when there's an alcoholic and you're withdrawing, in the end when you're just drinking to feel better, you think everything's going to go badly, don't you? This feeling of impending doom is incredibly powerful, and it's not until you pull yourself out that you actually realise that life's worth living again. As soon as you get sober, life is just, it's incredible, life, when you get sober. And I feel better now than I do when I was 24. So I was drinking then. And I said earlier, even just a few drinks definitely impairs your judgment. Like Penny Jack, you can't just stop. Suddenly you feel you could back down with a few beers. Yeah, it's difficult to stop. Suddenly, you'll have seizures like I did. It wasn't pleasant. You can die of seizures, so be very careful. It's always best to taper off. Get some advice on that as well if you can from the GP, but it won't give you any medication. Certainly, it doesn't give me any. Richard, sober 5 months now. Well done, Richard. Save 4,500. Not drinking or smoking. Scary how expensive the vices are. Amazing that, Richard. I was listening to LBC News last night. It's like talking. I don't sleep particularly well. I don't sleep late. The average pint in central London, where I used to drink, funny enough, because I worked there, I was in the police for years, for 15 years in central London. Most of my drinking, 80% of it was there at Essex, where I lived. Central London. It's nearly £10 a pint in some boozers now, apart from spoons, obviously. £10 a pint. But, so it's absolutely crazy. No wonder people are moving to the suburbs. But the Sunday affairs used to get me, even though I didn't go back on a Monday. It's the same sort of feeling. After a week's annual leave, I used to dread going back to work. I plan coming off a bit. Like the first day holiday, I think, oh great, we've got 7 days off. Drink heavy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I started trying to cut down a bit. But by that 5th day, I was so wrecked with it all. It was hard to come back from that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get ready for work, but I would always used to go in really badly anxious, just looking horrendous. I didn't look like I'd been on holiday. I looked like I'd been in prison. I had a good rest. No, I haven't. I just drank myself to death nearly. Yep, I thought I was in control. Was able my whole life to drink or not. I love work and life until a certain age. Age is a massive factor. And the situation I was in, I didn't recognise myself. Very sad over that. Thanks for your video. So welcome, you. Don't look too much. Don't look back too much. Look forward. Yesterday's history. Can't turn the clock back, but you can wind it up again. Remember that. And how can you taper off when the medical service deny you the choice? I know what you're saying. You've got to try and do it. You've got to try and, if you're having 10 a day, try and have 9 for a few days and 8 and slowly taper off. Because if you just suddenly stop, then you will have a very high chance of being really ill and having seizures, as I did, and that's the problem, isn't it? And thanks, Peter, for the coffee there. I really appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, please do. It's not monetized. The live's not monetized at all, so it flows very well. If you want to hit the super chat button, please do, or buy me coffee links on the right. We've had some good support this week. Makes a big difference, and keeps us right at the forefront of this terrible addiction. where there's more and more people slipping into it, unfortunately. But yeah, the whole of the UK at the moment seems to be miserable, and they tend to drink to try and get over this misery of whatever day-to-day problems they've got. But you've all got problems. We all have problems. Sober people have problems, but we can deal with them more rationally. I'm sure a lot of mental health issues are because of alcohol. The suicide rate's gone through the roof. I'm not going to be all doom and gloom. I'm just stating facts here. I know for a fact. Stoic knows for a fact. A few of others on here, Samara knows for a fact that sobriety is a much better choice. If you're a student, get in touch with me. Get in touch with one of them. There's lots of videos on the channel, and there's also lots of there's positive comments where people can help you out as well. It's all experience, isn't it? The more people we've got in here, the more experience we've got, the more advice is available, I suppose. Poy John, my friend, got me some diazepam online. He said it was fairly easy. The GP wouldn't help. The only thing with that is you've got to be very careful online, Nookie, just had an ultrasound after 10 years of daily drinking, 10 to 20 years, and all I have is small kidney stones. My GP told me to donate my liver to science. Well, to do it with science. So it's a good one. I never heard that one, Nookie, but thanks for the comment. So there's no tapering off. There's no moderation for alcoholics. It's all or nothing. You can't drink again. I know that. I know alcoholics can never have a social drink. 100%, no chance. Josh, good evening, everyone. What a nice Sunday we're having. I hope all of you were clean, serene, and in control. I like that. Clean, serene, and in control. I think I've seen so much drunk people when I went for a long walk today. Yeah, because it's getting a little bit better weather, you see. I'll get more and more and more. More and more and more and more prevalent. More and more prevalent. It's not a good place to be when you're in this cycle. And I would say the cycle is drink, fall asleep, panic, and drink again. That's what I used to do with this anxiety. It used to get me in a right mess. Yeah, you will have seen a few days drinking. Mark, my wife used to call it messy Sunday, as I used to get annihilated and feel like shit Monday morning. Now I'm drinking Earl Grey and having chicken stew later. See what a difference in life. It is a different life. You've got to learn to fill that time in with something better. And you've done that. Well done, Mark. Grant, my friend has offered me benzos online. Not safe. I don't trust anything online medication-wise. So be careful with the energy drinks, man. The addiction will crave the sugar. Not good for you. Good point. 73, rather. Cycling home from work one day, I witnessed a well-dressed woman pissed herself, hardly unable to walk or stand up. Looked 40, she must have been so embarrassed. Incredible, isn't it? Yeah, the women thing, it does affect them much more than we think. So Grant, stay away from benzos, it's cross-addicting. That's a good point as well. Yeah, you can easily get addicted to benzos. It's really hard. Drink a stoic, yes I know, but it was against my cravings. So I was going to be better. Good news. Mr. Harris, it's a complex disease. I just read that Australia and New Zealand have high rates of alcoholism in women. Well, that's interesting. Let's just talk about women. It's how they get dependent more quicker. The liver doesn't function as well. More obviously prevalent with breast cancer. Breast cancer numbers increase if they drink high volumes. It's not a good place to be, is it? A good place to be. Anyway, I'm just going to move on to this this thing about the women. With regard to the liver damage, women are more prone to alcohol-related liver disease and lower levels of drinking. So even though women might not drink as much as the men, the liver disease can be much more problematic. So when I'm looking back, I really did use alcohol instead of facing every problem that arose. It seemed to work until alcohol then became my biggest problem. Nothing else mattered. That when alcohol is your main problem, your whole life falls apart, doesn't it? Brian, thank you, Stoke. Brian, there are several films, books, and streams about or written and presented by women. Okay, I didn't know that, Brian. Thanks. I'll have a look at that. Cheers for that. I'll pay no online drugs, Russian roulette. Tell the doctor his black plan, and they might give you 3 days worth. Good point. I could drink many men under the table in active addiction. Yeah, and that's another good point, isn't it? A lot of women heavy drinking. You got a number, Steve? Can you email? Yeah, I'll give you the number. On here, just drop me a line. It's +44 if you are outside the UK, of course. Everybody's answer this. And I just realised, recently that there are so many other associated problems with alcohol, not just our problem. Let's just say error. Try again, don't it? Jake, you got a number, Stu? Yeah, I've got the number. Do you got the number there? I'll put it on again. I don't know why it's been moved. Or was it my fault? So I was trying to do two things at once. There you go. That's the number there, Jake. The great problem is that I feel great after drinking. That's the problem, isn't it? Yeah. No. Say it like this, like it is. Hello, how are you doing? It's 90 days sober. Brilliant. That's really good done. Really good. Keep going. Yeah, I've got a few people newly sober tonight, which is fantastic. And let's keep pushing. Everyone keep pushing, really push it, because you've got to look after your health. And if you don't look after your health, you've got nothing, have you? Once your health's gone, you finish on you. And you're down to rock bottom. Then you don't want to be down to rock bottom. Say it like it is. Thank you. And let's keep moving forward, and let's keep everyone getting better and better. Drinking 8 months sober, it's really good. We had some fantastic stories last night about people have been, sober for many years, and obviously people getting sober newly. And it's just a question of, there are dangerous times when you've just got sober. You've got to really focus on it, and you've got to make sobriety your mission and your, I suppose, your priority, isn't it? Again, you're brushing your teeth. You've got to be sober. It's as simple as that, Opening a drunk woman is especially tragic. I always thought that, even back in the day as a bartender when I wasn't yet a drunk woman. It's a good point, that. Dean, drinking amazing, well done. Yeah, it's just fantastic. So, man, we all felt good after drinking. That's why we were here. Yeah, we wouldn't have done it otherwise, would we? Thanks so much, Richard, for that super chat. Let's celebrate the first super chat on the live stream. Thanks very much. Appreciate that, Richard. And yeah, you're right, Samara. We did it because we enjoyed it, didn't we? That's top and bottom of it, really, isn't it? It was enjoyable at the time. Used it for all sorts of reasons. I think I did for me a bit of social anxiety, just growing up. The fact it was available. It was in my father's garage, well, the wash house, as it were. This massive area where there's loads of this homebrewed lager and that sort of thing. It was actually incredible. Thanks for that support. If you want to support the channel, please do, as Richard has, or hit the buy me coffee link. So these aren't monetized. They flow really well, and the time goes really quick. I should maybe do it a bit longer. Get a few people join you a little bit later on, But it's so supportive, this community now. It's got a really good core base of people. It's sensible chat. We'll have a laugh as well, but it's not stupid. And that's the main thing, because it is a very, very important subject, isn't it? It's not to be taken lightly, really. And some people will dismiss it as, I've got to die of something. I've seen people in the pub in their 40s and say, I've got to die of something. I know one guy who's only the same age as me, said, I don't care, I'll drink myself to death. Well, he will when he's in the liver ward. Or he's in the back of an ambulance and blues and twos. His liver packed in. That's when you regret it, isn't it? It's often too late for people, isn't it? Brian, the film When a Man Loves a Woman and Gone Girl are examples. Thanks, Brian. Maybe let's have a look at that. Brian's mentioned a couple of films there. When a Man Loves a Woman and Gone Girl are examples. Thanks, Brian. Potty John. People who drink don't seem to like the fact you've stopped. That's exactly right. There's a lot of jealousy, isn't there? It's very bizarre, that. Trying to make you have just one. So it's happened to me a few times, maybe jealous. 100% jealousy. It's 100% jealousy. And the longer you're sober, the better you look, the better you're doing, the more holidays you have, how you change your life, the worse the jealousy becomes. To the point you can't even go to the pub. But you can't go to the pub, you'll not speak to anybody. I'll play Samara and Rare from Form tonight. Yeah, Rare Form. Well done, Samantha. That fox looks drunk. It does look a little bit, happy. It's happy. It's not drunk. Thanks again, Richard. And you else wants to support, please do. You know what to do. Super chats there or the Buy Me Coffee link, which has been really well supported this week. It's fantastic. Mark, I like the wallpaper. It's books. It's not books. Sorry, it's books on the paper. It's like it's wallpaper. A lot of people say it looks like books. They really look like books. So, Potty John, 100% 100 jealousy. May the addiction wants your addiction to feed with them. You're right there, mate. Yeah, growing up with a father that was like a madman. I swore never to be like that. After the last few years, I hated myself for it and ended up with a man like that. Ended up a man. Right, the shame is the worst feeling. Yeah, I understand where you come from. You got to move on. You know, if you can from that. Hot Penny, for Fox's sake, yeah, get that. Well done, Hot Penny. Yeah, it's difficult, yeah, if you got like childhood memories, childhood trauma, they call it, don't they? And you've got to try and get out of that, you know. Check out Bad Country placed a video of Justin Timberlake. He had a DUI. It's a good video. All right, I see. Yeah, to put that on. Thanks, Joe. I'll have a look at that. I quite like Bad Country. I've spoken to him a few times. Seems a decent sort of guy. A little bit extreme at times, but you know he's got some good content. He's got a good following as well. Must be doing something right. So the health risks, as I was looking at earlier with women, very similar to men, but much more acute and happen much quicker. So I don't know what the figures are as a death rate via age with women, but women generally outlive men, but certainly not in the alcohol or drinking community. And it's surprising how many women are affected by it. I think they're better at hiding it than men because they're not really in the social scene as much as in fighting in the street. I mean, going back to my police days, there's a lot of women got arrested, but not anywhere near the amount of men for drunkenness only. The odd one. Just get under the influence of alcohol. Men go from Dr. Jelly, Mr. Hyde, and go from Miss Jean Brodie to Cruella de Vil. That's a good point. Yeah, I like that analogy. Miss Jean Brodie to Cruella de Vil. You're right there, man. Because it's a hormonal balance and mood change and all that sort of thing. It just amplifies that, doesn't it, I suppose? It really amplifies that. And it becomes more of an issue. Hope you're well, Joe. I'm seeing you for a while. And, keep fighting the good fight. Sobriety is the key, isn't it? So Backcountry's relapsed on drugs recently, but his ego won't accept it. It was a relapse. Oh, I didn't know that. Surprising how low his awareness is regarding addiction. I'll say no more before the Backcountry attacks me. Oh, I do agree, Stuart. There's it's quite extreme. I know that, but I don't know that much about him. I've spoken to him a couple of times, but just on an email type thing. But I think he seems to have done a lot for a man of the age, if that makes sense. But there you go. I used to know somebody like that. And I was in the police. You know, if he'd been skiing, he'd been skiing twice. You know, that's what. Well, not well on that. Drink as a woman. We as women can use makeup to hide our redness from drinking. I did that. Now use less makeup. That's a good point. I think you can hide under that mask a little bit, can't you? Brian, I have close female family members and friends who are well beyond social drinking. I find it very difficult to discuss it with them. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it, Brian? They don't want to change themselves, isn't it? When you know better than me, Brian, on that one. You've got a lot of knowledge on this as well. So while Rick is shutting down his channel, it will be sad loss to the alcoholic community. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out, Rick. Yeah. So the bat knew not to drink. That much you knew. Okay. Grant, my dreams have been so nostalgic. Going up the road when I was 7 with my parents, painful dreams. Right? Yeah, it's funny how dreams come and go. I used to get a lot of dreams when I was first getting into sobriety about drinking again, which is really frightening, isn't it? You think, oh, I'll be drunk again. What's going on? Really bad. Joe, a female alcoholic's best friend, Max Fatler and Johnny Walker. Yes, you can hide it, can't you? Men can't do much really with the dark eyes and that, but women can. You can spray perfume all over and get a blow dry actually. There's a lot to be said for that one, I suppose. But it's generally the same sort of factors, regarding heart disease and liver disease and whatnot. It's going to get us both in the end, but it will be more. It will creep upon women much quicker than men, and that's something I didn't know that. I knew the livers weren't as robust, but I didn't know about all these other things, i.e., the heart disease may develop quicker in women. I didn't know that. I didn't know that the brain damage would be so quick either. Um, it's incredibly quick. Um, how it sort of manifests itself. So it really is very, very important if you've got any females in your circle to warn about that. I think it's just it's so overlooked, isn't it? That women are more healthy, they'll be all right. So, hi, Penny. Cross-addicting from alcohol to drugs means that the addiction is in control. His words were, "I wanted something to make me feel how alcohol used to." He handed over his power. Right, I understand what you mean. Yeah, I get that. The key is to be off everything, isn't it? Sober means clean of everything, really, isn't it? Clean of everything. I think it's definitely more of a stigma for women. I think you're right there, Joe. I agree, Brian. It's definitely more of a stigma. Although they will talk to me privately, but definitely more of a stigma. Yeah. I mean, you do see fellas rolling out the booze around midnight, don't you? We don't see many women doing that for obvious reasons. Richard Parker, I convinced my girlfriend to get on naltrexone, and now she thinks it was the best investment ever, even just for the saved calories. Samara, get yourself some light bulbs too. Thanks so much for that, Samara. This is my form of makeup. Thanks very much for that, Samara. I really appreciate that. The support we've had this week has been magnificent. From the moderators and everybody else on here, and had a few coffees, a lot of coffees actually. And if you want to help with the channel out, then please do. I really appreciate that, Samara. Thanks very much. I'll try and get on the bulbs tomorrow and get some light and pay the energy bill. Solar power in the North East England doesn't work very well. So Regent Park naltrexone, I convinced my good investment in naltrexone, even just for the saved calories from drinking much less, and not easy to get via the NHS. So nothing's easy via the NHS, is it? Unfortunately. Is it normal that I have that feeling that my brain is still healing after 8 months? Definitely. Mine's still healing after nearly 7 years now. Thanks again, Sub. We'll get some bulbs tomorrow. I promise you that. And might even get the cowboy hat we spoke about. Stoic ran to the dreams stop after a bit of time. The addiction can't get in while you're awake because you're in control. So it tries to get in while you're asleep. Don't let them worry you. That's a good way of looking at that. Yeah. Because when you're awake, you're a bit strong, aren't you? I agree, Stoic. I tried a bit of weed, no dice. We run out of anything we use. Don't touch anything is the key. I know it's easy for me to say. It's pretty easy for Samara, Stoic, and other people and have plenty to say that. But it's really, really difficult when you're going through this. I know this. We all know what it's like. That's why we can help people because we've been there. The doctor hasn't been there unless they're alcoholics. It takes time, a long time. It does, Grant. Yeah. Debbie, good evening, Stephen. Everyone, hi, Debbie. Hope you're well. Mark, brilliant. Yeah, brilliant help there. Brilliant support. Potty, we still would teach you the real facts about alcohol at school. Guest speaking. Yeah, that's something I would be interested in if I get an in there. I need a bit of some help to get in the schools. I'm quite willing to stand up on stage and talk about it because I never knew any of this until I actually did some research and I was in hospital myself. I didn't even know when I was 40 they could die of a seizure. I didn't know that stopping would kill me nearly. It kills others, Debbie's here. That's good. I was talking about female. The problems with the difference between female alcohol consumption and men's, and how the female's body will react differently and much more quickly get addicted. Hi, Lisa. Just to recap, it was about this. I was talking about how women are affected more, cancers more prevalent, breast cancer obviously, brain damage is more prevalent. A lot of women start later in life drinking heavily, but it catches up with them much quicker and become addicted much quicker. Lisa, NF, I've had dreams that I was drinking again, woken up expecting to feel rough, then realised it was a dream. Yeah, I've had them as well. Not too long ago, actually. I thought, thank God for that when I woke up. Lisa, hope you're all doing well. Yeah, all good. Lisa, thank you. Hope you're fine too, and you're doing well. Check out if I have bought those dreams, if have those dreams too. You wake up and think you were drunk again. It's a panic, isn't it? It's panic time when you get that. You think, oh, what's happened in my life? And you think, what the hell? Unbelievable. Oh, thanks, Brian. Just bought 3 copies. Tonight's topic is so important. Discretion prevents me from commenting on the female friends. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. And Brian's a very knowledgeable chap. And thanks so much for that. I really appreciate the support there. Cheers, Brian. Yeah, we'll have to do another one of these, maybe another video about the female thing as well, because I see we've all got mothers, all had mothers, sisters, whatever, you know, we need to. I'm not aware. I wasn't aware until the last few months, really, of the implications on women. The dreams are horrible. Thanks again, Brian, for that. Samara, drinking dreams are horrendous, but by God, what a relief in the morning when you wake up and realise it's just a dream. Yeah, you're right, mate. Almost biblical it is. I get them dreams are horrible, aren't they? It's a difficult day here in the New Forest. I live within walking distance of 3 pubs, all packed in the sunshine, but I didn't go. That's it. You've done really well there. You have to keep pushing every day. I walk past a few pubs today. I went a long walk. Obviously, don't go in now because I know it's going to kill me. And that's the thing you've got to have in your head. Grant just getting a reply is so comforting. You always get a reply here, Grant. Always. Everyone's here to a bit of sobriety and to comfort each other and to also help to get health back. Health. So it's all about. There's nothing else, just health. Once you've got your health back, you can do anything. You know, when you've got your health, you've got nothing to worry about. When you've got something wrong with you, you've got 2 things to worry about. Whether you recover or whether you'll get worse. If you get worse, you've got 2 more things to worry about. Whether you get much worse or whether you recover. And so it goes on. So the healthier you are, the less worry you've got. It's as simple as that, really. Well done, Lisa, for keeping out the boozer. Joe, I think so. Start sealed his own fate by after revealing his horrendous liver enzyme results. Then he confessed he was more worried about watching the Soccer World Cup sober. Red car. Yeah, strange what goes on some of these channels. Debbie, you have a brilliant channel. Thank you. You're welcome, Debbie. I appreciate all these comments and you know there's positivity. You said you are doing a fantastic job here, Steve. You should be so proud. Yeah, I am. Thanks very much. It's nice to help people. It's nice to learn things again. For years when I was drinking, I didn't want to learn anything. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. And I had nothing in my life. And to be able to help people is fantastic. It's just a fantastic thing to do, isn't it? When you get positive comments and so you you really helped me, and it's really good, that sort of thing. Probably as well as sex education, alcohol education is more important. They teach you drugs, but alcohol is by worst by far. It's not. Nobody warns you about the other drugs, and this is the worst drug, alcohol, isn't it? Look, yesterday I had huge cravings, but instead I bought some coconut oil and laid in the sun for an hour. I have no hangover at work and a lovely tan. Well done, Noogie. That's a good story. Keep healthy, look good. Why not? Become vain and get off the booze and look really good. Get your skin sore. Mine was horrendous years ago. Kathy, I never believed there was an association between chronic alcohol use and breast cancer until I got it. There are other factors, but this one is in control. Thanks, Kathy, for that. I appreciate that. There's a lot of problems that women face, particularly the cancer. The brain damage is worse in females. The heart damage is worse in females. And the fact that you drink, if you try and drink the same amount, then you're a hell of a lot worse physically, women. So I expect you in the community under my Luke account about you going holiday. Well done for staying in control. Thanks, Joy. And if I think if your mind gets healthy, your body and everything else will become healthy. 100%. Just get out of all the drunks, but some are more tedious than others. With Harris, I think guilt is a vicious cycle. You might wake up and feel guilty, but remember, they're not perfect either. Exactly. No, that's good, Lisa. The Sunday fear is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Really bad. George Get Hot Penny Rick is no alcoholic. He has an Australian dollar AUD. Alcohol use disorder. Hasn't a clue about it. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for the input there. Really good. Yeah, so ladies, watch out and get sober. it's just the same for you as it is for us. It's hard. But you know, I find females strong characters, and I think them, you know, can do it just like we can, just like the men can. But we don't think of that women being drunks, do we? I think, as you said earlier, that was Joe said, you know, there's more of a stigma with women drinking. But the death rate's bloody high, and you know, nobody wants anybody to fall off the wagon here. Nobody. Yeah, Lisa, sorry, thanks so much for planting me. I'm sure Stoke doesn't mind that. We should help people like we all are. Like I said, all your comments are all logged for people to replay and on the videos as well. So people will reach out. Hopefully, with this channel, when the channel gets even bigger, then we'll be able to reach out to more people, and I'll be able to put them in touch with you if you don't mind. So you know, taking the lead a little bit, and we can help each other. It could be a very strong community. And if honestly, since I've stopped drinking, I've not had the dreaded Monday blues and work, and I've not blobbed. Brilliant. The thing is, we work better, don't we? Much better. So, Primus, I agree, mate. A lot of people in recovery glorify their addiction. Yes, good point. That. Grant, I've been drinking 3 months straight. I wake up crying. I think, what is the point? I know this is crazy. I did the same. Drop me a line. You know, a lot of people ask my number and don't get in touch. Don't be worried about getting in touch. It's not a problem for me to get in touch. I'll get around eventually to answer and you know, trying to sort things out a little bit for you, because it is a horrendous problem. When you're in the middle of addiction, I can't think of anything worse when I was in withdrawal, because the further you get into this, the less hangovers you get, the more withdrawal you get. And there's a vast difference, as most of you will know, between a hangover and withdrawal. A hangover, you know, a bit dehydrated, feel a bit nausea, had a bit of a headache, feel a bit tired. When you're actually in withdrawal, it's horrendous. Lisa, what are the little pearl crowns? Do you know what it is? I'm not sure. I don't know. Somebody else might know on that one. I'm not very technical. But thanks, Lisa. I'm not sure about them. So, Lisa, you're very welcome, mate. You did the hard work. Be proud of yourself. When you get a few wins under your belt, you start to realise your strength. Yeah, like I said earlier, you know, build on every day sober. Build on each day that you get stronger and you become more able to deal with things. And it's a wonderful experience to be free. The longest walk I've done for years to date. I just felt free. I feel free when I wake up, and instead of this trap where I sort of need to have a stockpile of drink in case of panic the next day. I had weeks of stockpile in the end, and I'm sure I was going mad. I really am. It's only recently, really, last couple of years, I've actually got full mental clarity back. Lisa, thanks, Stoic. I've had no alcohol for 3 months. I feel like a different person, but this channel and the lovely people here have helped me more than anything. Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate that. And I think that's a message for everybody there, that we all help each other. And that's absolutely massive for me to hear that. Hi, Nookie. Thanks very much for that super chat. Really appreciate that. I hope you're well and keeping positive, you know. And thanks to everyone who sends support in via the super chats or the buy me a coffee. It makes a massive difference to the channel. The bigger the channel grows, the more people we can help. And I'm sure we all want to help other people. Anybody that's been in active addiction really wants to help, because it's so horrendous. Torturous, isn't it? That's all I would say. Torturous. So well done, listen. Just Get Free by The Who. Some bass playing by the auction last Steve. Yeah, I used to play the bass, you know. I had an Ibanez Roadster and a Fender Stratocaster, a Fender Precision bass. Yeah, he was amazing, wasn't he? John Entwistle. Again, a big drinker, wasn't he, Joe? Fantastic band, The Who. I think we all support each other. It's like an AA meeting. It is, yeah. I mean, I don't only go to couple of AA meetings, but I think it's nice to keep it lively as well, isn't it? Primus, on a Sunday, I would only cook meals with wine and the recipe. I used to end up totally marinated, yeah. I like that. Every time I cooked, I always had a couple of cans of beer on the go, a couple of glasses of beer on the go. The man I was cooking, you know, just doing beans on toast. It's just another excuse to drink. A couple of beers on the windowsill. No, madness. NF, thanks so much. Wish it was more, but buy a jar of enough. That's And if it's a massive support, that massive support. Thank you so much. I get a massive jar of Nescafe. Friend of I saw a huge jar the size of a bucket yesterday in Morrison's for $9.99, so I'll get one of them. Really appreciate the support night and the coffees and everything. It makes such a difference. Get the channel bigger, support each other, and let's get more people sober. Because I wouldn't go back to where I was for an hour for all the tea in China. I felt so ill with it. It was a really, really bad time. It's about being a bad time for a lot of us, isn't it? We know how bad it is. Thanks, Anna. Thanks to Samara. Thanks to everybody who's helped today. And all weekend since the challenge started. Debbie, the anxiety was the worst ever first few days. Then it gradually got good. But it's social anxiety with being isolated to overcome. Surely that will go in time. It will. Everything will get better, Debbie. Everything gets better. I found that to my joy, to be fair. I'm a much better person than I was. I'm back where I was when I was very young, a decent young man, but I'm a bit older. And then once the drink got a hold, I changed for the wrong, well, not for the wrong reasons. I changed in a bad way. Not to the point of hurting people, but just being a bit of an idiot. But I definitely went mad. Pure hell, 3 years sober now. I was in bed. Place is poison. Bad place. It's a bad place, boy. Terribly bad place. Glad you're doing all right. The Who, it leads sensational. I'll have a look at that. It might be on YouTube. Cheers, Joe. Stoic Lisa, congratulations on your 3 months. You've had a holiday now and stayed in control. It's all about getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. It gets easier. You hear from the addiction less and less. Yeah, it just fades, isn't it? But don't let it in again. That's the thing, isn't it? Grant used to play in the band called the Enid. That's where it started. Really? That was quite a big band, wasn't it, the Enid? That's where did you play, Grant? I remember that band, Enid. I sure remember that. Was that the 80s? Thank you for your spunky donation. Yeah, the fertility clinic. But yeah, thanks so much, Anna. Thanks for all the support. Brian Grant, did you ever do Aston United in the 70s? Interesting. I don't know what you played, Grant, but let me know. He said the anxiety is absolutely horrendous once I hit 50. I'll do these videos often. Once you hit 40, you've got to stop. That's not an exact figure, obviously, but as we get older, we can't process it. Some of that. But he just gave Rock and Roll Circus a quick one. He said, I'm not going on holiday until June start, but the way I'm thinking, it's changing every day. Prescott, I started having dreams about sneaking around with booze 4 days after getting sober. Is that normal? Yeah. Also, your mind's completely mixed up. Your mind is addled, your brain's addled with booze, you see. NFN always sub with every penny. Thanks so much. And I really appreciate that, I do. So I used to play in a band called the Stumpy Ginger Toadstool. That's a recent one, isn't it? Yeah. Kevin, a woman friend of mine, died in her late 30s, drank the same amount as an addicted man. Yeah, but it has a much more detrimental effect, isn't it? Thanks for that, Kevin. Thanks for sharing that. Check out the clips on YouTube. There might be actually, the Enid's quite a big band. The Enid Reading Festival. Reading Festival, I knew it was a big band, that, Just in the back of my mind. How many people are licking toads now? Some people do, yeah. I've heard that super. What's that daft program called? Where the village thing. This is League of Gentlemen. They're on about toads, aren't they? He said, Grant, you can do it. I know how you feel. I thought, what's your alternative? So I made my mind up and stopped, even though I knew it would be absolutely horrendous. It was, Lisa, and Grant, you can do it as well. You can play in a band like that in front of all those people at Reading Festival. You can do this. Come on. If I can do it, Samara can do it, and all the rest of us can do it, you can do it. Periscope, everything is normal when it comes to us, alcoholics. Giving up the booze, nothing is off the cards. We have brains as mad as hatters. Yeah. Adult. It's a good word, adult. Somebody used to use that word. Another thing somebody put to me the other day, I used to use the word alcohol weaves its way into your life, into every part of your brain and your body. But he used the word soaks its way in. I can't remember who it was. Might be Brian, I can't remember. It soaks its way into your system. It's very difficult to get it out. You can't just put in a box of rice to dry it out. You've really got to push for it all the time to get it out of your system. It's so easy. Needed there. Yeah, it's there. I used to booze to stop the stage fright. Yes, I bet you did. I played in the band, much more minor than that one. I played bass, but it was just booze has always gone with music, hasn't it? Right. What did you play? If you don't mind me asking, it's always gone with music. It still does. You know, there's very few music festivals where booze isn't right. At the end of the day, booze is everywhere, isn't it? Go to a christening, there's booze there, guitar, but lead or rhythm or what? Because you must have had a good setup to be on at that level. You know, a really good setup. I used to have a Marshall amp and a Fender Precision. The guitar, all right. The Axe man, good man, Grant. Well, you know where you've been, get back there. You don't have to go back in the band, but you know what I mean? Health wise, you must have been fit, able, talented. You know, the lead guitar is the top geezer after the vocalist, isn't it? And you know what a position to be in. Then again, I had a very good career in central London, and I've lost a fucking lot, really, through blues. So we've lost a lot. Kind of like Lemmy from Motorhead, he had a bottle of Jack Daniels all the time in his hand. He was a bass player, wasn't he? Lemmy, yeah. The best cover they did was Heroes, I think. Motorhead. So yeah, alcohol's been around, you know, since time began, really, especially in music, theatre, and all this sort of thing, and acting, and it's such a bastard thing. It's when it brings you down. I've no doubt there's people watching this saying, "No, I only have 2 or 3 pints, 2 or 3 times a week." You know, people like that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, as I mentioned before, my best man, who's now unfortunately passed away, he says, "Steve, you drink far too much, and you won't be able to drink in the future." I didn't know what he meant by that, but I do now. I'd had my fill, had far too much. Just because fame is a form of trauma. Yeah, could be that, Joe. I didn't realise that. You may be right. I saw a taxi driver a few years ago. I hadn't seen him for 30 years, and he said, "You used to drink a lot when you were 18, Steve." He was older than me. He used to taxi me around when I was a kid. A teenager. He was about 20 odd then. And I said, "How do you know?" He said, "Every time I pick you up, you're lagging." And he had a good memory, this lad, obviously. And he always remembered me being the sort of pisshead of the town. But not piss, but, you know, like a bit of a womanizer when I was about a teenager and a bit daft. And he said you were drinking far too much. And he said, "I don't know how you manage the police." There you go. So we all got a bit of a past with alcohol. I certainly did. It was a lifelong thing for me, and to give it up was virtually impossible. Like a lot of us in here, it takes some courage, doesn't it? Some courage and some real focus to give it up. I just did a video tonight about the dangers of drinking alone as well. Now, by drinking alone, I mean even just sitting in a pub alone. I used to love the pubs in the West End of London, but sometimes some of the lads would say, "Come for a pint," they used to go somewhere else, you know. Go somewhere else. And I used to like drinking alone, but it catches up with you more quickly, especially if you're drinking alone in the house. Grant, first I played Birmingham Town Hall, sold out 2010. Film zonked on benzos and scotch, so nervous. Wow. I've no doubt that being lead is a lot of pressure. Bass players can hang at the back like the ugly drummers. But lead, you've got to be on point. And so I'll get where you come from. It's like any job, you top level. That's why all of us here are very intelligent. All of us are born on an ADHD, I would say. Don't take that the wrong way. I think we've all got very active minds, and we use the drink to calm the mind. Mr. Harris leaving Las Vegas and Hollywood with alcohol movie, I think, dear Hunter, is more accurate. Oh yeah, I've seen that one, Leaving Las Vegas. Yeah, it was good. Harris says that with Nicolas Cage, it is, yeah. Yeah, the end bit was a bit strange, but there's another one even better than I saw, where I can't remember what it was. Someone was very young, about a guy who drank himself nearly to death, and he managed to recover. How can you remember, Grant? Well, you can remember Fame, I can imagine. In a big band like that. It was a huge band at the time, you know. Yeah, the Nicolas Cage one is quite frightening, isn't it? Have you seen the one about the pilot? Flight, I think it's called, when he was drinking on the plane. That was based on a true story, wasn't it? You know, how we function. Well, Denzel, that's the one, yeah. Do you want me in my crossword? in a pub trying ever so hard to look normal. That's it. I used to buy a newspaper and never, ever, ever open it. 6 pence later, Joe, and I've only saw off the crossword and walk out, leaving it there for someone else to finish. Yeah, that was me. Drink Another Round is also a good movie. I've never seen that one, Drinking. Mr. Denzel, look at that. Denzel Washington, cracking film. It was good, wasn't it? Yeah, really good film. The Lost Weekend, Days of Wine and Roses. Right, The Lost Weekend is another one I need to look at. I spewed on the Milton Keynes roundabouts. Flight, that's the one, Hot Penny. Yeah, it was good. Really good. So when I knew I would be an alcoholic, although I didn't know what an alcoholic was at the time, it was magic. Elixir of life. And life felt euphoric every time I entered the bar. Yeah, I know exactly where you come from when you're 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, sorry, Girl on the Train. Is that another one, is it? Okay. If you'd like to support the channel, which a few people have done, please hit the super chat button or the Palmy cover link on the right there, because it's not monetized. This and it's been flowing really well recently. I took those daft adverts off. We've got a lot of chat and a few new people, and we've got a really good core group now of people. And I'm going to be doing something on a radio station soon, but I'll fill you in on that soon. I'm going to be doing a bit of presenting on a radio station, so we can all get on that as well and cross-reference that, if that makes sense. Your best performance of an addict in movie history: Harvey Keitel in Bad Lieutenant. Astonishing performance. Thanks, Joe, for that one. Stars. Well, there's a lot of movies about alcoholics, aren't there? The one I can relate to might be Nicholas Cage. Is the one where he tries to write a check out. I remember going into Barclays Bank in Regent Street when I was quite a young sergeant and met them. I had a heavy night, like the shakes, and I knew I had to get cash out for later on, 2:30, when I was going off duty to get drinks. And I walked in the bank about 10:15, and I was shaking so much I pretended I had this call on the radio, and I left the bank. And I had a few drinks later on. I came back, and I could write it like that, so easy. I couldn't hold the checkbook. I couldn't hold the pen. Everyone, it was a bit old. I remember checkbooks. Horrendous. Yeah, musicians and actors. A lot of great Irish actors were full of alcohol in the past. Yeah, it's got a reputation, Ireland, doesn't it? So I can't believe how quick this week off has gone. Up at 4:15. Wow. Right, get us to bed, Stoic. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all your input as always, and thanks for moderating. And have a good week. Drinking when I was 14 and drank alcohol. You belonged to the tough, badass people. You did. My daughter did that as well. I'm glad it isn't anymore with the young people now. It's not so much. I think it still is in certain areas of drinking. I hope we get off it. R.I.P. Shane McGowan. Yeah, it's a terrible thing to get into, isn't it? Chuck Norris, so many different names. I'm not a big film person. I never had time to watch films. I was always on a boozer on my own. Getting back to the video I did, the sad part of being on your own. It's like I've named it the party for one, or the one-man party. You see yourself dancing around the living room at 5 o'clock in the afternoon because you had a few drinks. What's all that about? It was just an excuse to get hammered. I wasn't going out to meet mates. I did now and again, but I used to purposely go to pubs where I didn't know people, so I would just sit on my own. I don't know what that was all about. I don't want to get bothered, you see. I used to hate being in a round. When you're getting a round of drinks, 3 or 4 of you in a round, and you have to wait for somebody else to buy the drink. I wanted to drink quickly and at my pace. I didn't want to wait for John, Mary, and Diane to buy the drinks. I wanted to drink then, because I'll be drinking twice their pace. It's just crazy, isn't it? I mean, you can find AA qualifiers on YouTube: Steve Ray Vaughan, Anthony Hopkins, Craig T. Nelson. Okay, thanks, Hot Penny. A very good book about alcohol addiction, Parched, a memoir by Heather King. So that's crazy. There's a lot of stuff. I have to replay this and get some of these film titles and book titles off there, because there's a lot of information there which will be useful, especially the books and whatnot. But the two I've seen, like Lost North Vegas and Flight, really, really good, and quite informative in a way, really. The Flight one was good because it reminded me of my life in a way, because you get led astray with women, and you've got a high pressure job, you've got to be on point, and eventually somebody's watching you, And that's really difficult when they're watching you and you know they're watching you, and that just adds to stress. Because I remember coming one morning when I was acting inspector at the time, and this PC said to me, he said, 10 o'clock in the morning this was. Bear in mind I was a supervisor. He said, you stink of drink. I hadn't been drinking in the morning, but I had a heavy night. When you're having a lot of heavy nights, it really builds up. And you're spending the whole day waiting to get the booze again. And that's really trying to put the brakes on, isn't it? When it's affecting your work. And other people start to notice and actually mention it. Then you fit at a real low then, I think. It's just not a good place to be. I think a lot of us have been there. But finally managed to get out. And it's a relief to get out, isn't it? It's a relief to be able to walk to the shops. It's a relief to just, not worry about a bill or not worry about things that you used to worry at such a high level and stress about. Because we're only here once. We should lessen the stress as much as we can. As soon as you start drinking, your stress level goes up 100 times, doesn't it? And you're getting a total bloody mess. So, there we go. So I hope nobody's got the Sunday fears. If you have, tomorrow's another day. Like I say, yesterday's history, isn't it? And you can only change what you can change. And don't worry about things like the war. Lots of people ringing me up and saying, we've gone so worried about this war and all that. It's thousands of miles away. Don't worry about that. Tell you about George McGovern, about his daughter. Well, I made a look at that one as well. Okay, folks, nice to see you all on a Sunday. I know some people are going to get for work, and others maybe not, but enjoy the rest of your night. And if you've got any questions or you've got any other, video or, the titles, videos or lives, let me know. Grant, say this is when I could play. You could probably get back to that, and be a teacher, Just good to see Ray Vaughan, RIP, I recommend Texas Flood live at the El Campo. Thanks, Joe. Right, good night, Stoke. Night to everybody. I will see you very soon. Good man, Grant. Grant, if you want to get in touch, we've got a lot in common here. Been fellow musos. Please drop me a line. Maybe something to do together, I don't know. Right, thanks, Mr. Harris. Thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Sub. Scares the hell out of me. About 20 years left in back to an eternity of nothingness like before I was born. I know what you're saying. Not long, is it? But at least we can have a nice time in that time. Thanks, Stephen, and everyone for the support. Stay so happy. Nice one. Good night, everybody. Good night, Stoic. Bless you, Steve. Thanks for Grant. See you later to everybody, and have a good sleep. No daft dreams. Dream of something good. You know what I'm saying? Dream of a beach with some nice people. Good food is the key as well. And also, just a quick one, magnesium apparently is good for sleep. And another I'm going to talk about this week is the Manjaro pill. Apparently it's got some sort of beneficial effects for cirrhosis. Hi, Jack. We're going to sign off tonight. We'll be on tomorrow, 7:30. Nice to see you, Jack. Hope you're well. You hit the like button on the way out, and thanks for all your support. Keep watching the videos. Keep in touch. Anything you need, you know where I am. Drop me a line. My number's on or emails on all the description links and things like that. And you can find me anywhere now, Google or whatever. ChatGPT, the whole lot. Right, see you soon, and night, everyone. And thanks for all your input. Thanks very much to the moderators, and thanks for the support as always. And we'll see you soon. Take it easy.